Hi, I'm Tabitha Miller. I currently live in Owatonna, Minnesota, but that's not where my story starts. I started teaching 13 years ago in Charlotte, North Carolina. I got the opportunity of a lifetime to move from Minnesota to North Carolina to begin my first teaching career. I've always known I wanted to be a teacher, ever since my fourth grade teacher. His name was Mr. Sibrud. He made such a lasting impression on me that I knew that from that point on, I wanted to have the same effect with our young minds of today. I have taught kindergarten, first, third, fourth, and sixth. Next year, I'm moving into what they call a KIC position, a curriculum instructional coach within my district. I am one of four for the elementaries. I'm split between two buildings and looking forward to sharing the knowledge I have gained from all of my KU coursework. I chose to highlight CAEP 1.4, demonstrate skills and commitment to creating a supportive environment that affords all P12 students access to rigorous college and career-ready standards. You will see moving forward in this video a PowerPoint presentation that I created to highlight the three artifacts chosen for this standard. I chose to highlight CAEP 1.4, demonstrate skills and commitment to creating supportive environments that afford all P12 students access to rigorous and college and career-ready standards. The artifacts I chose to highlight this area were my personal learning definitions map, the creation of my Jayhawkville curriculum plan, and my state research lesson plan with rubric. I wanted to highlight this area because I believe that supportive learning environments foster a love of learning in all students. I believe that a deep level of learning will carry students throughout their entire lives. The supportive learning environments that are established each day in and out of the classroom in the school environment demonstrate to students that people care about them, whether they're the teachers, the secretary, or the custodial staff. I believe that without the supportive learning environments, students cannot be college or career ready. For this artifact, I created a personal learning definitions map. I looked at the learner's role, the teacher's role, the key purpose of instruction, and what the curriculum being taught was. I evaluated my personal beliefs on what each person's role or thing's role should contain. The learner's role is responsible for communicating their struggles to the teacher, asking questions, and knowing how they learn best. The teacher's role, then, is to provide students with multiple avenues to demonstrate their knowledge to others, to provide feedback, to make sure that they are the facilitator of instruction and not the teacher on the stage. The key purpose of instruction is to provide instruction that is engaging and active and interesting to keep students learning and being lifelong learners for a passion for learning. And the curriculum that is being taught is from the district and state level, using the standards, Common Core or state, that are provided to each student. In creating this personal learning definitions map, I believe that each of these roles play an integral part in creating a successful learning environment. In my mind, it's kind of like riding a bike. You can't ride a bike without pedals or the chain or the person riding the bike. Each part plays an integral role and important to each area. In my classroom, the successful learning environment starts at the door. I use a process called Four at the Door. Each student is greeted by name, making eye contact, and being welcomed with a personal message that pertains to them. This way that each student can feel like their environment was created and developed specifically with them in mind. Four at the Door is just one concept that I have recently implemented after creating this personal learning definitions map. Looking at the visual on this page, you'll notice that each of the roles play a balanced role. While this map is something that I use and reflective in my own teaching, I do believe that the learner's role and the teacher's role are more heavily than the curriculum and the purpose of instruction. Without fostering great relationships and supportive learning environments, students cannot be college or career ready. This map has allowed me to reflect on my own teaching and practices and looking at my role and the learner's role and how I can better become a facilitator of instruction versus a teacher on stage providing all the instruction. By creating the supportive learning environment, students come willing and eager to learn each day and walk in the door with a smiling face, bright eyes, and willingness to learn that wasn't there before. This personal learning definition map is something that I will continue to reflect on each year in my planning processes of how I can be an effective teacher that creates a supporting learning environment that creates college and career ready students. In Course 802, Curriculum Planning for an Educational Setting, I devised a curriculum plan for Jayhawkville Unified School District. It was in need of a standards-based field of study approach to curriculum planning for its P12 math curriculum. In order to create this curriculum plan, I had to look at the overall picture of the entire school district. Jayhawkville was quite large in size, with 4 different zones and 27 schools throughout the entire district. A lot of data went into devising a plan that was going to make Jayhawkville successful in its math curriculum area. I devised a goal-based model in making this curriculum plan. My biggest takeaway from this project is the amount of data-driven decisions that are made, the amount of people and the process that the entire thing goes through in order for a curriculum change to be made. It is not a decision that is taken lightly, and it takes time and effort by multiple people throughout the district in order to make a successful plan. Teacher buy-in and teacher understanding of why the change is being made is one of the key important areas that I also took away from creating this curriculum plan. I plan to use this knowledge going forward in the years to come as I move into an instructional coach for my current school district. The knowledge I have gained from this course is going to be beneficial in helping make decisions for my school district. The last artifact that I'm highlighting here is a state research project that I created this year for students to be able to research a state of their choosing. They were able to collaborate with peers in choosing a state of their choice. Clear expectations were given with classroom meetings and setting up norms. Students were also able to use a rubric that guided their instructions. Collaboration with peers was something that I felt created that supportive learning environment. Before I had done this state research project individually, students had to, in the years past, work by themselves to develop this same project. I felt by adding a collaboration aspect to this piece, students would realize and recognize that they needed to use one another and each of their strengths they brought to the group. The big idea in this lesson plan was the collaboration aspect that this lesson brought in creating a supportive learning environment. The big takeaway from this is that students must be taught how to work collaboratively in order to create the successful learning environment, in order to be college and career ready. Here you'll see the state rubric that students could use in order to follow. It led their creation in their state report. It allowed them to have conversations and question each other in their work. By laying out clear expectations, the supportive learning environment for all students was established. Clear guidelines were in order, and students could get right to work. By providing students with this rubric, I felt that they were successful and had less questions than in the years past. My big takeaway from creating this rubric is that by giving students a format to follow, their ability to know and be able to execute the task was much more successful. In the future, I plan to establish more rubrics for students to be able to use. This creates self-monitoring and an awareness of clear expectations in order for all students to be college and career ready. After the creation of the state research projects, we invited parents in so that we could showcase all of the students' hard work. Students were proud and looked forward in sharing their knowledge with their parents, but also other parents and faculty within the building. These 3 artifacts are just 3 pieces of my portfolio that you will find on the link in slide number 2. They demonstrate my understanding and ability to take the knowledge I have gained and use it within my classroom. The learning that I have gained from this course is something that was unimaginable. I did not expect to gain the amount of knowledge in just 18 months that I did. Because of the knowledge I have gained through the coursework at KU, I hope to make many curriculum changes, not just in my current district, but in many more opportunities moving forward. The devising of the curriculum plan of Jayhawkville has given me the knowledge I have needed to understand the process in which things go through in order to make changes. I hope to also support teachers moving forward in instructional best practices, creating the state research project, but also using many of the differentiation strategies has allowed for me to truly understand and reflect on my teaching. I hope to share these with colleagues moving forward in my coaching position in the next 3 years. The courses at KU have also provided me with opportunities to work with colleagues, both near and far. The virtual platform for these courses has allowed and taught me many new strategies. It has given me a different understanding and collaboration with colleagues that I had not experienced before. I look forward to using this knowledge also in the years to come